What's up, guys? It's Hal here. Don't forget to subscribe. But yeah, let's get into the video. So today we're going to talk about what I think is better, lunar, badlion. It's only going to be between the two because why not? I don't feel like looking up about other clients because I use both. Used to use badlion, but now I use lunar. I'm not going to be biased, but I am going to say what I actually think is true. Let's first start with badlion client. What I want to say it does better, and what I say it does have, because you're going to be watching me playing lunar client, the footage. But, the lunar client, what badlion would have, they do have, like the replay mod thing in the client. Full bright is in both. We also have that in lunar client. There was no free look. Like you would used to be able to, be able to use free look. If you don't know what free look is, you hit a button, you can move around in any angle. Lunar removed it recently. Lunar doesn't have that. It doesn't have free look anymore. That was moved recently. It also doesn't have replay mod, and badlion does. But one thing about lunar is if you hit your right shift, which is the original button, you can make stuff custom. Like notice my armor on the right side of my hotbar. I put it there because I like it there. Says the durability. Badlion has that too. But you can put your armor thing, but you can't move it as well. But badlion has way more options. But also, let's talk about the YouTube side of it. If you partner up with badlion, you have to do badlion content. Lunar doesn't force you. This is something that I can't really give another angle on because I'm not really partnered with YouTube. Not partnered with YouTube stuff because my channel is not famous. But now let's talk about stuff like the cons and more pro stuff. So the thing is with badlion client is you do have to pay for a lot of stuff. Same with lunar, but I say that lunar client looks more clean in a way. Notice that badlion has that 80s, 70, 90 vibe. You get it? With the yellow, it's kind of old and weird. I keep saying whatever, but you guys know lunar client looks more smooth. It's just basic. And now let's talk about something that's more of a personal problem with lunar client. Kind of with badlion, but not really. So if you click on the lunar client icon, you get to this tab. It's not a Google tab, so you can't minimize it, you can't maximize it. Lunar client is not like that though. Lunar client has something different, as in you don't know, but maybe lunar client's not a tab thing. It's a full screen application, but it's not full screen. It doesn't have a Google X. It has its custom X. And that's probably something, I don't know how much people experience it. If they have good computers, probably. I don't have a bad one, but get the idea. And the thing is, badlion doesn't have that, but I really don't care. But anyway, so it's cleaner, but I was talking about badlion has other stuff. Know what happened on the screen and me being bad. Anyway, so you guys probably noticed that I use lunar client. I used to use badlion, but lunar gives me better frames, I think. I don't really remember. And you also have the fact that badlion has way more things you can do. It has MOG Cobra, which nobody cares about, let's be honest. And that is true. Lunar client though, badlion is the most popular client, I believe. Lunar client second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh, eighth. Anyway, there's a lot of factors you can think about, but tomato. We also are going to talk about some badlion good things. More good things. Badlion has a lot of stuff useful. One thing I do like about lunar, it does have waypoints, which are easy to use. You have to type. And badlion I don't think does. You guys can fact check me in the comments down below. You can tell me. And you can also tell me. There's also a theory about, I've heard that people have anti-KB in lunar client. I'm gonna disprove this now. If you guys have ever watched me, I take a lot of KB. I use lunar client. I took the same KB with badlion. There's nothing sketchy going on between them, because anti-cheat is usually good. But yeah, and we're gonna ignore the fact that some people just get toxic. You know, duelist players, sweaty gamers. You get the idea. You guys also probably know that lunar client has like less settings, but it's more clean. I've said this before. Also, one thing good about badlion is it has its own available resource packs. If you don't know what I mean, if you don't notice, like go to badlion, go to resource packs. You can always use the file way, but that's the basic. They also have their own, so you don't have to use the file, because a lot of people like me actually don't know how to use them. I'm using the badlion one given to me. There's probably better packs, but I haven't changed it. I really don't care that much, let's be honest. And that's a good factor. We also have the fact that, you know, the replay mod with badlion, I don't really know how to use it. But that's just my fault for not knowing. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing I'd like to say is none of them are sketchy. I said that before. I'm just going to remind you. There's nothing sketchy going on between them. And, yep. We're also going to remember that lunar client and badlion client are not the only two clients. You could use other clients if you do want. But these are just the two I've heard about, because these are the two I've played before, and I know. Lunar client does have a good thing about, you know, you can move everything. Like, notice bottom right corner on my screen, I put that there purposely. My keystrokes are fine, all fine, whatever. And you can also see that my WASD is where I want. My CPS, ping, and frames are all where I want, and that's pretty good because I can put them where I want. We also are going to talk about some other stuff, like, you know, lunar client, nothing sketchy, but what I do like is if you go tab, you can see everyone that uses lunar client above their name on like the left side of it. So that's pretty cool. And badlion doesn't really have that. It's kind of harder to tell, but you can still tell. It's just more easy with lunar client. And so, what else could I talk about? There's nothing really else to talk about besides the fact that you can use what you want. There's nothing bad about using one. It's mostly your personal preference of what you need with like special mods, like full bytes on both of them, keystrokes, CPS, frames per second ping, but lunar client where you can choose it. So overall, where would you want it? Which one's better? Where would you want to go if you want a client? It's just your personal preference. I use Lunar because of better frames for me, but some people get better frames than badlion, like Croissant Man. I don't know why I call him that. It's weird. But yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's ignore the fact that this yellow person got completely bamboozled. Fireballed him once, he died. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing. It's free, you can always undo it. And let's go to this epic end card, which took me 2 seconds to make, but I'm gonna use it because I have it. And yeah, bye.